Alright people, hello guys, this is DK World, and today I will be showing you my updated Sandevistan Assassin build. Alright, if you guys have watched the first one, then you guys already know how to use the Sandevistan, but most people that watch this probably wouldn't know, so I'm going to be trying my best to go over how to use the Sandevistan in stealth, and I will also be disproving a comment that I got in my comment section saying that this build may not work on vanilla very hard difficulty. Alright, so there's going to be three things, alright, in this build video. I'm going to show you the build, then I'm going to play with it and show you how to use the build, and then I will also be disproving that comment that said that the build may not work on very hard vanilla difficulty. Alright, so let's get straight into this build already. Alright, now here are the weapons that I'm using. This gun is the Mancinella. Alright, I think it's Aguilar's gun, the gun that you get from doing the Aguilar questline. Alright, now this gun is very important because it's a revolver, and you'll see why that's important. Alright, this katana right here is a modded katana. Hold on.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Alright, hold on. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Before anybody starts to freak out, oh my god, this is a modded build. Relax, alright? This is a reskin of a default katana, alright? Don't believe me? Look. It's the same stats. Look. The same stats. Damage per hit is the same. Attack speed is the same. Stamina cost is the same. Alright? For both. Alright? And you could put 2 mods on them. Alright? Here are the mods that I'm rocking for this. They're Cyclone. Alright? Tier 5 Cyclone. And what Cyclone basically does is it basically acts as the it has the same effect as the Byakuo right here. Alright? The Byakuo allows you to do the rapid combo. Alright? The Cyclone does the same thing, but to activate the effect, you have to do a sprint attack. And I'll probably have like a example of that somewhere. I'll probably put it right here because, yeah, I'll probably put it right here. But I have an example of that, of what that looks like. All right. And we're using a throwing knife. Now, guys, I don't care what weapons you use. All right. But I would say a pistol is probably the best, and a revolver at that. And this revolver is probably the only silent revolver in the game, although it does not show its silencer, but it is a silent revolver. Alright, but yeah, I don't care what weapons you use. You guys can use whatever weapons you want. Alright, and I do have gorilla arms, just cause I'm kind of bored of Monowire. I've been using Monowires a lot, but I do have gorilla arms. Alright, and I do have the Militech Apogee Sandevistan. Alright, for people that don't know. Alright, now first I'm gonna show you my stats. You guys see this? Look at these stats. Now, these stats, for anybody confused, because I know most people watching this are new to Cyberpunk. These stats are because of my stat modifiers, my Cyberware stat modifiers. Now, when I show you my Cyberware, I'll show you what to get. But mostly you'll be trying to aim for bonus stealth damage, melee damage, and crit damage. Well, you don't need crit damage because most of the time you're gonna, you're probably gonna get. Most people probably get around 80 to 90% crit damage, so you're gonna be doing a lot of damage regardless. All right, a lot of damage regardless. But yeah, crit chance doesn't really matter because we crit all the time with my pistol, and I'll show you why. And yeah, and here's my armor. This is pretty much a glass cannon. Alright, this is a glass cannon build, most likely, pretty much. But we have the Sandevistan, and the Sandevistan is so overpowered that it carries. It carries us, so we don't even need to worry about our HP. Alright, now let me go to these, to my freaking perks. We're finally here. I feel like I've been talking forever. But yeah, I know you guys are looking at my perk points and my attributes and my relic points. I think, no, the relic points are normal. Alright, but you guys are looking at my perk points and my attribute points, and some of you guys are panicking because you guys think it's a modded build. It's not a modded build, guys. It's not a modded build. I only use 80 perk points, and I only use 66 attribute points, which are the max you can get. Alright, you get 6 attribute points in the beginning of the game, just for as default, and then you get another 60 every time when you get to level 60. Alright, the reason why my perk points and attribute points are look like this is because I use a New Game Plus mod. Alright, that's the reason why. And if you guys don't believe me, I will have the official build planner in the description of this build. It's going to be the same thing. It's not going to be different. Alright, so yeah, I have 18 body, 20 reflexes, 20 tech, and 20 cool. 15 tech is very important. Alright, and I'll get more into that. But here, copy the build down. Alright, if I feel like I need to explain the perks, I will. But yeah, just copy it down. Just copy it down. Just copy it down. It's not really much to say. This is an updated version of this build, so most people that will click on this are people that have already seen the first one anyway. But if you guys are new to this, I will explain some of the perks that I have. These are for blades. Obviously, I'm using the katana. Alright. Reflexes. For people that don't know what reflexes do, alright, this middle tree right here is basically all of your mobility. Alright. When you see people do those crazy jumps and those air dashes and those dashes, it's because of this tree right here. Alright? Stunt jock for jumping out of cars and doing all the cool animations, alright? With cars and sliding and stuff. And yeah, alright? Now, technical is the most important attribute in this build, alright? Now, the updated version, alright, that you guys need to know. What did I update? DK, what did you update? Alright? The cyborg perk right here. Alright? The cyborg perk is important, fellas, because it gives you more cooldown. It gives you 15% reduced cooldown for all cyberware. Alright? Now, if anybody's watched the original, alright, I had this perk, but I was not using it because I didn't have all cyberware slots filled out. We fixed that in this, which means the Sandevistan will be even more deadly because we'll never really run out. And we never ran out in that video. So imagine now with extra 15 extra cooldown, alright? We're never going to run out. It's never going to happen. Alright? And then we have cool here, and cool is very important for stealth. These three are very important. Alright? I would get this. If you're using a stealth build and they do not have 3, you see a YouTuber making a stealth build and they do not have these 3 perks. Alright? I don't know what to tell you. Alright? I don't know what to tell you. Or at least these 2. This one, you don't really need this one. But they don't have these 2. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. And this is also updated. Now, I found this out. Recently, alright? This is overpowered. This perk right here is overpowered because, well, you guys already know. For the people that have, saw my my first Sandevistan Assassin build, you guys already know how overpowered the Sandevistan makes you. Kind of makes you invisible to enemies when you have it popped. But this just buffs that even more, alright? This perk right here, mitigation chance, alright? Higher my mitigation chances, alright? Now, do you see this perk right here? The reason why we're using a revolver is because every time we get a crit, every time we get a headshot or hit weak spots on an enemy, we get a guaranteed crit. Alright, and the revolver counts in this. Now, regular handguns, for some odd reason, regular handguns do not count, but every other thing counts in this besides handguns. They nerfed the hell out of cool with this, but it's whatever. Alright? But yeah, the revolver counts. So we're going to get guaranteed crits all the time, which is why my crit chance was so low when you guys saw my stats, because it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter because we get crits all the time, especially with the Sandy activated. Alright? But yeah, this is for throwing weapons. I mean, since we're using a throwing weapon, obviously, you know, we have this. These are for handguns, revolvers, precision rifles, and sniper rifles, which sometimes I use snipers. And this is for crouch sprinting. Alright? All of this is for crouch sprinting, and this one helps with lowering your detection speed, enemy detection speed. Alright? We don't have anything on intelligence because this is a Sandy build. And relics don't really matter. The relic tree does not really matter because it just doesn't, because by the end of Phantom Liberty you'll have all of these perks anyway. So it doesn't matter. Alright? Now, for the Cyberware. Alright? Quantum Tuner. Hold on. My bad. I got ahead of myself. Alright? This is the updated part of this build. Alright? This is really what's been updated. Alright? Every slot has been filled out, but guess what? We're using less Cyberware capacity this time. Alright? Now, I really did get ahead of myself because I was really excited to show this build off, to show this part of the build. But yeah, we have less Cyberware capacity. We're using less Cyberware capacity, and we have more Cyberware. So yeah. But here's the thing that I need to tell you, alright? Proxishield. Proxishield is very important. But if you have more Cyberware, I would go with Nanoplating. But you don't need Nanoplating, alright? You don't need it. But I would go with Nanoplating. Just cause, alright? If you have more Cyberware, you know, I would go with Nanoplating because of crit chance. Extra crit chance. And because of some of the effects that it gives you. But you don't need it because look what it does, alright? Closer an enemy is to you, the less damage they deal to you, alright? So, that's up to you for real, but I just would go with Nanoplating, but that's up to you, alright? But yeah, here's what I'm rocking, just copy it down. Now, here's something that most people do not understand, alright? I'm about to do math. I'm about to break down the math for you, alright? For the Sandevistan charge, alright? You will rarely ever lose out on Sandevistan charge, alright? Ever with this build, alright? Ever. You will rarely run out. In fact, you will never run out. I never really run out, ever, with this build, alright? And I'm about to prove it to you right now. I'm about to prove it to you with some quick math, alright? Quantum Tuner, very important. Every time you run out of the Sandevistan charge, it instantly restores your cooldown, so you'll be able to use it again. But one thing most people do not realize with Quantum Tuner is that it gives you a passive cooldown time effect, alright? It passively gives you, with the maxed out version of Quantum Tuner, which is tier 5 plus, which is the dumbest name for, they should have just called it tier 6, alright? But with tier 5 plus Quantum Tuner, it gives you a 15% cooldown time, alright? But guess what? Guess what else gives you a 15% cooldown time? Cyborg, alright? So that's 30% by itself, alright? Then we have Extended Warranty, 15% duration for all Cyberware effects. By the way, that's the Sandy and Optical Camo, which we have, alright? So that's another 15%, but that's just in duration. So that's probably a whole different category within itself. But you have 15% duration. So your Sandy will last longer naturally, alright? Because of extended duration. But guess what? We're not even done yet. Come back here. Guess what the Apogee does? Every time you neutralize an enemy, guess what it does? It extends your duration by another 10%. Alright? So we already have 30% cooldown time plus 25% extended duration. That's ridiculous. Guess what? We're not even done yet. Axolotl. Guess what Axolotl does? Gives you more cooldown time. 7.5% extra cooldown time every time you neutralize an enemy. Come on, guys. How much is that? How much is that, bro? That's like 37.5% cooldown time plus 25% from killing enemies, right? Bro, I mean, you'll never run out. You'll literally never run out. You will literally never run out of Sandy. Ever. You'll never run out of Sandy charge, alright? With this build. And I don't know why that guy commented that, as if you would. You will never run out. And if you guys need more proof, I will have my Sandevistan Assassin, just my Sandevistan videos in general, of me using this build and builds similar to this build in the description, and I will have it up in, like, I will have the playlist in the description as well, because I created a playlist for it. And yeah, alright, That's what you guys need to know. Now, finally, we can get into the gameplay. And I will show you guys my stats one more time. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Alright. Do you guys see this? Alright. Stat modifiers are very important. Now, it's not so important. It's not too important, alright? But, you know, stat modifiers will make your life easier, especially on very hard difficulty, which we are playing on, by the way. Vanilla very hard difficulty, without the hardcore mod. But, yeah, stat modifiers will make your life easier, alright? Now, this is a bad roll. What you really want to roll for is bonus stealth damage and melee damage. Alright, bonus stealth damage, melee damage. If you could find headshot multiplier damage, you could get that. Alright, but I was able to roll for crit chance, crit damage, and other ones that kind of do the same thing. So yeah, and if you could get one that says decrease enemy vision, that'd be really good for you too as well. Alright, so those are the ones that you really want to look for: crit chance, crit damage, bonus stealth damage especially, melee damage especially, and if you could, decrease enemy vision, and maybe headshot multiplier. Alright, those are the ones you want to look for, but you don't really need it. But if you want to get stats that look like this on your character, I would do that. Alright, I would roll for that. Now, finally, we can get into the gameplay section of this video. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try my best to explain how to use the Sandevistan in stealth. Alright? What in the hell is... I'm gonna let him live. Alright. Well, I'm gonna try my best to explain how to use the Sandy in stealth, alright? I'm gonna try my best. Please cut me some slack. Alright? Because it's been a minute since I played this game. Alright? So, yeah. I'm going to try to do that, but I will also be showing you guys, alright? I am playing on very hard difficulty, so nobody can make an excuse, oh, he's not playing on very hard. Yes, I am, alright? And vanilla, too. This is vanilla very hard difficulty, not the hardcore mod very hard difficulty, alright? So, yeah, here's what I'm going to do, alright? I'm going to play 3 gigs. I don't know if I've already explained this, because I feel like I'm pretty tired right now, so I kind of have short-term memory loss. But I'm going to play 3 gigs. Alright, each gig is going to be harder than the last, and each gig is going to be very hard for a Sandy user. Alright, because I'm trying to show you guys that this build works on any mission in stealth. Alright, especially on very hard difficulty. Alright, I will be playing on very hard difficulty because there was a comment that said that this build may not work on very hard difficulty. I may put the comment up, I don't know yet, but I may put the comment up for you guys to see. But that comment, I'm not gonna lie, that comment got to me because I was like, really? Are you serious?
Is this nigga serious?
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna let my gameplay do the talking, alright? But let's get straight into this. I've been yapping a lot. Let's just get straight into this, alright? If you guys don't know already, I chose this mission because there's turrets, there's cameras everywhere, alright? Those are the things that turn people off from using the Sandevistan in stealth, alright? Now, one thing I like to do with the Sandy, I like to pop Sandy first because it lowers your enemy detection speed. It lowers enemy detection speed when you have it popped. And then I like to run up to cameras or run behind enemies, and I like to grab them and finish them off. Now, this camera right here. You see how this camera didn't see me? You see how that camera didn't see me, guys? That's because of the Sandevistan masking me from enemy detection. All right. Now you will still get detected by cameras, and enemies and turrets when you have the Sandy popped, because it doesn't make you invisible. It just makes you fast. All right. But it'll be very slow. But sometimes, because it is very hard difficulty, sometimes enemies will still detect you pretty quickly. You have to be very smart. And most of the time, I will be crouch sprinting like this to maximize your chances of not getting spotted, alright? Now, there's a camera and there's a guy over here. This is very dangerous, but I'm going to pull this maneuver. Actually, I'm going to just pop Optical Camo. Alright, and then I'm going to turn this camera off. Now, this guy right here. To show you that this works, I'm going to wait. Do you see that? He doesn't see me. Do you see that?
Watch it.
Notice how he didn't see me. Alright? Notice how he didn't even detect me, alright? Notice that. I want you guys to notice that, alright? There's supposed to be a guy up here, but I think he's in here. I'm gonna grab him real quick. Slow him down with the Sandy. And we're basically almost done with this mission. I haven't used the weapon yet. Alright? But I'm really trying to explain how to use this, but it's pretty hard to do it. Especially since I'm doing this all in one take. It's gonna be very hard to do this. Also, disclaimer. Alright? I do have the stealth kills mod on. But wait, before anybody says anything, it is just a cooler version of killing somebody. Instead of grabbing them, I can just use a weapon. All right. Instead of grabbing them, I could just use a weapon to do a stealth kill finisher on them. All right. So it's the equivalent of grabbing somebody, but it's just cooler. All right. So before anybody complains, oh, you have stealth kills, so it's a modded build. No. All right. Stealth kills is just makes it cooler to grab somebody. All right. It's animation plays out. I actually show you guys. All right. But one way I like to use the Sandevistan is I like to aim. I like to pop Sandy, and I like to aim at an enemy line up a shot. All right. That's one thing I like to do. But we're gonna grab this guy. Sometimes this happens when you use the Sandy. It like slows down weirdly. Well, one thing I like to do, and the most important thing that you need to know is pop Sandy first, run behind them second, grab them third. Alright? And to show you guys, the stealth kills mod is literally the exact same thing. It's just a cooler version of grabbing somebody. I'm gonna use it on this guy. You see that? Now tell me, for any doubters out there, tell me, what's the difference from grabbing him and doing that? What's the difference? It's the same result, alright? For anybody that's worried. But yeah, the Sandy, you can do some pretty cool things with the Sandy like this. Like this guy, look. I literally troll people with, I troll people all the time with this build. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to do that to enemies with this build. But yeah. You guys already know how this works. Look, that camera didn't see me. Alright? But it's pretty easy. Same thing again. Alright? And we could bully this guy right here. Look. He's gonna turn around. And guess what I'm gonna do to him? Alright? It's not difficult, guys. It's not difficult. And this build is very easy for beginners. Alright? Very easy for beginners to pick up. Same thing again. Alright? We're gonna hide behind this because sometimes those guys see me. I'm gonna shoot him. Alright. And I'm gonna deal with these two. Now, one difference I can say that is different from the hardcore mod and playing on vanilla very hardcore is that I don't use my katana as much because enemies don't die when you headshot them. Alright? It's not guaranteed that they'll die. Alright? So usually I just go in with my pistol. And I'm gonna show you right now. Alright? So I'll go here. You see that? And I just grab the other guy. Notice how he died too, though, by the way. Notice how he died on very hard difficulty. Notice how he died in one shot. Alright? And this is a Sandevistan, so, it's pretty easy to play. I mean, all you gotta do is, all you gotta do is this. I hate when this happens. Hold on. All you gotta do is this. Bang. Grab him. Alright. It's not hard. It's not hard, guys. We're gonna throw grenades up in there. And guess what? The mission's over. And we've killed everybody. Now, I don't know if I did a great job. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I answered this. Hold on. I accidentally answered that, but guys, it's very simple. It is very simple to play with this, alright? Now, for anybody worried, okay, well, you played an easy mission. First and foremost, this is not an easy mission 1. But 2, okay, cool. I'll play a harder mission. And I'm going to play 2 more harder missions for you, alright? But if I didn't explain it to the best, like, if you're still kind of confused, I will try to explain it a lot more of how to use the build in stealth. But, because the next mission is a lot harder because there's cameras and turrets everywhere, alright? So it's a lot more harder to use this build, alright? But honestly, it's pretty easy for me since I've been using the Sandy and Stealth for like 2 playthroughs at this point, or 3 playthroughs now. I think it's been three playthroughs now. So yeah, let's just skip on to the next gig. Alright, my people, we have made it to the next gig. Now, for anybody that's already watched the first Sandevistan Assassin video, my first Sandevistan Assassin build video, you guys already know how to use the Sandy and Stealth because I explained it really well. Honestly, in that video I explained it really well. So yeah, you guys already have the updated build, so you guys don't even need to watch this video. Alright? But most of the people that will click on build videos are people that's new to Cyberpunk, alright? Now, as you guys can see, there are tons of turrets here. Alright, you guys can already see this one, alright? So what I'm going to do, in this one I'm going to try to the best of my ability to explain even better of how to use this build in Stealth. Alright? How to use the Sandevistan in Stealth, alright? One thing everybody needs to know, alright? The Sandevistan does not slow down time. That's not what it does. Now, in the game, in gameplay, that's what it does. But the Sandevistan actually just makes you faster, like the Flash, alright? Or like Quicksilver. It makes you quick. It makes you very fast. Anybody that's watched the anime, you guys know how David used it, alright? Now, in this one, since there's a lot of cameras and turrets, I'm going to try my best to explain enemy detection, how enemy detection works with the Sandevistan, alright? It'll be a lot easier for me to do this with this mission because enemies are all around and everywhere, alright? But also, you guys need to know that Optical Camo is your best friend, alright? Now, with 15 technical, we can turn off cameras and we can override turrets. Sadly, we cannot turn off turrets with 15 tech. Not even with 20. You can't turn them off. You can only override them. Now, what overriding them does is it basically makes the turret fight for you. Alright? But we don't want to override turrets in Stealth most of the time because everybody will be alerted. Alright? Now, either you'll get alerted, they'll be alerted to you, or what will happen is they'll start looking around for you. Alright? They'll start looking for you. Alright? We don't want to deal with that, so what we're going to do is we're going to avoid this turret. So what I'm going to do is, once this turret does one more sweep, I'm going to pop Sandy, I'm going to jump down, and I'm going to grab this woman. Right now. Alright? Like this. This is the easiest way to use this build. Alright? We're going to put it behind the turret so it can't see it. And we're going to skip along over here. Alright? There's actually a lady over here. This is a perfect time to show you guys how the Sandevistan works. Alright? Look at this. You see this? Notice how she barely started noticing me, right? Notice how she barely started noticing me, alright? That is why the Sandevistan is so good in Stealth. That is also another reason why I wanted to use the Sandy in Stealth. This works, that method works for everything. That method works for cameras, it works for turrets, it works for people. Alright? It works for everything. Alright? Same thing with this guy.
What the fuck did I just say? It ain't working, alright?
Same thing with this guy. Watch this.
No, it doesn't shoot,
Doesn't turn, doesn't do fuck.
He didn't even see me. We're gonna shoot this lady. Very simple. Alright? Same thing with cameras. We don't actually need to do that with cameras, but same thing with cameras, alright? Another thing that the Sandevistan does, it buffs your crit chance, and it buffs your I believe it buffs your attack. Let me see real quick. Yeah, it buffs your crit damage and your headshot damage, alright? So every time you use it, even with your gun, you're gonna pop it, then you're gonna pop Sandy, and then you're gonna shoot. Damn! That was badass. But you guys saw that, alright? Saw how he just flew. Alright, you do a lot of damage, especially with this revolver, because you're getting guaranteed crits every time you get a headshot, alright? We're gonna wait for this guy to move around. And I'm gonna stab him in his neck. Alright? Frick that guy. He always sees me every time I do a run with this gig. Alright? We're gonna wait for this camera to move along. I'm gonna actually show you where is he going? Alright, I'm gonna turn this camera off. Like this. This is how I always turn cameras off. I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna bring him in here. Alright? But that's how you use the Sandy in Stealth, alright? It's very simple. And it's very easy. Alright? And we're almost done with this mission. I'm gonna leave him. Same thing with this camera. Look at that. You saw that? You saw that, how that camera almost saw me? Alright? Same thing with this camera.
Man, this transmitter takes me back.
Light work.
So?
This mission is over. Alright? Now, if you're a normal... Hold on, Johnny, please be quiet. Now, if you're a normal person, guess what you would do? You would just leave here. You would just leave. You wouldn't even like bother trying to kill everybody else in this base. But since I'm doing a showcase, I have to kill everybody in this base. But honestly, if I was playing by myself, I would still kill everybody in this base.
It's crazy.
But yeah, we're gonna kill everybody in this base. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you guys is that recon grenades are really good, especially when you're not a net runner. So recon grenades act as distracts. All right. So look, you see, he'll go look for it, and nobody else gets alerted. All right, he'll go look for it, and guess what we can do? Recon grenades are so good for this build, guys. You don't even realize it. You guys don't even know. All right. And we're just gonna finish the rest of this gig. You guys already basically know how to play. All right, so we're just gonna finish this. I'm gonna grab him before he goes out. There's a guy right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop Optical Camo. I'm gonna pop Sandy and I'm gonna throw him in the crate. All right, and I'm gonna turn off this camera. All right. Boom. From behind him. Throw him in the crate. All right. Very, very, very simple. Same thing with this camera. This camera is not going to see me. Alright? Well, it may see me, but it's not going to see me for long enough for it to detect me. Alright? Now, sometimes, on very hard difficulty, sometimes you will get insta-detected. That is just something with very hard difficulty. Alright? Very hard difficulty. Enemies detect you very quickly in stealth. Alright? But what I'm going to do is this. You guys see that? Notice how the camera did not see me? Guess what? Notice how the camera didn't see me again? Guess what again? Look at that. Oh, it saw me. Look. Let me turn it off real quick. But notice how the camera didn't see me twice. And then it saw me that one time, and it was very slow enemy detection. Alright? Well, on very hard difficulty, you do not want to play with that. Alright? I'm just doing that because I'm trying to show you how enemy detection works with the Sandevistan. Alright? When you have it popped, enemy detection is a lot slower. Alright? But on very hard difficulty, it's very annoying because you will get insta-detected sometimes, alright? You will get insta-detected. It's just how very hard difficulty works, which is why I hate very hard difficulty, alright? One reason why I hate very hard difficulty. That's just one reason, alright? So, let's just kill everybody else in this base. It shouldn't be hard. So let's just, let's actually use this knife, alright? Knives are really good. Look at that. Especially this knife. Now, I didn't show you this knife, but the Headhunter. Look at what the Headhunter does, alright? First and foremost, 170 headshot multiplier. By the way, our stealth damage and our crit damage is ridiculous. Now, if you want to make this even more scarier, pop Sandy and then throw the knife. You're going to be doing insane damage, alright? Now, attacking... Look at what it does, by the way. Marks the enemy on hit. Attack an enemy's head with any weapon deals 200% damage. Returns the Headhunter and clears the mark. Alright? Now, honestly, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. That's why I picked it. Alright? It sounds overpowered. That's why I picked it. Alright? Also, I seen Benjamin Winters use this knife a long time ago, right, when he was still playing the game. So I was like, you know what? If Benji's using it, I gotta use it, all right? Anybody in the comment section, please tell me what that means, all right? I'm pretty slow, all right? I understand that I'm slow. It's all right, though. It's all right. It's all right. You know, we can't be good at everything, all right? Now, we're gonna leave this guy for last. I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna turn the turret off.
He says, say no to XPDs.
I'm gonna kill these last two.
Shit. When you start talking
Look at that. Alright. That turret almost saw me. Very annoying. Alright, and I'm gonna show you guys a cool trick. Alright? I'm gonna pop Optical Camo. I'm gonna turn Sandy on. I'm gonna override this turret. I'm gonna grab him. And let the turret do the killing for me. Boom. Guess who's dead? Alright. And this mission is over. Alright, and this mission is over. That's it. Very simple, guys, and I'm not even trying. On very hard difficulty, which is what I'm so confused at why that guy said what he said in my comment section, but it's whatever. Alright? It's whatever. Alright? I'm gonna just let the gameplay do the talking. Alright? Now this next mission will be the hardest mission. And I'm gonna just play on that one because you guys should already know how to use the Sandevistan. Oh, hold on, wait. This is actually a great time to show enemy detection, alright? This is actually a great time. Now, do you see this turret? I'm gonna wait for it to go around one more time. But do you see this turret right here? I'm gonna show you enemy detection since I should be safe. Wait. Oh no, I used the thing. Okay, let me go to an enemy turret. Let me go to this turret over here. Yeah, because that turret's not gonna attack me. Alright, now look. Look at this, alright? You see that? Do you see that? Alright, now you want to be very fast. On very hard difficulty, you want to be very fast. You do not want to play around with enemy detection. But do you see this? Come on, guys. It can't get more simpler than that. Alright. Now, to show you the difference. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait. My bad, gang. I'm running. Alright. You guys saw the difference, alright? Alright? That's the difference. Alright? So, yeah. Time to move on to the next gig. Alright? And this gig is going to be a lot harder than the rest. And there's going to be a boss fight at the end. I'm still trying to decide what gig I want to do. But, I think I'm going to just do, it's going to be the Dogtown one. I'm going to do that one, alright? I'm going to do the Dogtown one. And there's going to be a boss fight at the end, alright? I'll see you guys when I get there. We have made it to the last gig. And this is in Dogtown. And there's a boss fight at the end of this gig. Now, you guys should already know how to use the build. So, I'm going to just play. Alright? Do not expect this gameplay to be as good as my gameplay videos, alright? Those videos are very polished, and I do a lot to make those videos look good, alright? So, yeah, let's just get straight into this, alright? I'm gonna just play. This is just me playing. You guys should already know how to play, alright? But this is just me playing, alright? So if I mess up, hopefully I don't, but if I mess up, cut me some slack, alright? But let's just play, alright? Also, my fit is different. Yeah, this is on my Dogtown save. But yeah. This is just me playing. Alright? Not really doing anything extra. Where is this lady at? Oh, there she is. I would shoot this guy, but I don't know if the turret can see him. Uh-oh, the turret can see me. I'm gonna wait for my Optical Camo to show up. Or Optical Camo, please. There is a camera. There are two cameras here. Alright, here we go. Run past those guys. And look how long my Sandy is lasting, by the way.
We pay you for noob. Our research demands it. That was our deal. No.
Very simple.
You'll have to put your fucking... Wait! Don't shoot!
Let's shoot that guy. Shoot that guy. Movie. This is all in one take, by the way. I have not tried one time. Usually I mess up in my videos. There should be a camera around here somewhere. I just don't know where. I think it's over... I have no clue where it is. Hope I don't get spotted though. Oh, here it is. Let me grab this. Alright. Grab him. Stabby. Okay. Are you gonna work? Alright. Stab you. Take your head off. And, ooh. We'll pop this. I did not notice that. Turn that off. And, look how long my Sandy is lasting, by the way. You see how long my Sandy lasts? Come on, guys. I'm telling you, you'll never run out of Sandevistan charge with this build. And we're almost done. All we have left is this stupid robot. Oh, I hate this robot so much.
40%.
But we're about to wreck this thing. I'm prepared, buddy. Yeah, come here. Don't run. Oh yeah.
Activating
Come here.
defense systems. 100%.
Guess who's dead? Same thing with this robot. Yep.
System failure. System failure.
Where you at?
Area scan
Where
in
is he?
progress.
Where is he?
Human life signature detected. Initiating evacuation protocol.
Where did he go? Is he...
Unlocking emergency exit.
I think he's right here. Oh, here we go. Yep. I'm telling you guys, this build is easy to use. It's easy to use, even on very hard difficulty. Vanilla. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's not difficult to use at all. Like, I don't know why that guy said that. Alright. Yep. Very easy to use, folks. And, we're done. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, that's it. This video's over. Just that easy. I didn't even try. I didn't even try. That one was so easy. I feel like I have to do another one. If you guys want to see more gameplay of this build in action, I will have the gameplay. I will have my gameplay playlist, my Sandevistan gameplay playlist, in the description for you guys to check out, because I know most of you guys that are clicking on this video will be new to this channel and will be new and will never ever see like my first Sandevistan Assassin build video, because this is the updated one. Alright, but yeah, if you guys want more gameplay, I will suggest that one. But as you guys can see, I didn't struggle at all. Alright, I didn't struggle at all. And you guys saw multiple times throughout that one that I was using the Sandevistan for a long time, and it was not running out. I told you. I told you. Alright, so what did we accomplish in this video? I showed you guys how to use the Sandy in stealth. 1, I disproved anything that that one guy had to say about their Sandevistan not lasting that long. 2, and the last one and the most important one, that one guy that said that this build does not work, may not work on very hard difficulty. Yeah, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, you're chatting, alright? Alright. So, yeah. If you guys like this video, and you guys enjoyed my goofiness, then please like and subscribe. If you guys really, like, were confused, if you guys are really confused at how to use this build in stealth, I will have the original build video, because in that build video I feel like I explained how to use the build in stealth really well. So I will have that in the description for you guys to check out. And yeah, this build video is over. So yeah, please, if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you guys don't like and subscribe, I will come to your house and I will touch you.